What a spontaneous thing we've decided to do, Adeline. Thank you so much for deciding to do this with me last minute. Hey, Facebook family, YouTube family, it has been a crazy few days and I've been absent. So first of all, I want to say hi to my Facebook family who know that I've been on a ban and I haven't felt like coming back on. And before I start, everyone, I just want to pay tribute to an amazing, amazing man, Nas Aslam, who passed a few days ago. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but my heart aches learning this news. And I didn't want to come back on any of the social media platforms because I was ridden with this anxiety and anger and frustration as why do good people go? Why does this happen? But anyway, Adeline and I were speaking on the phone last night, and we've been playing telephone tennis actually, and trying to get like ourselves onto a show. And I said, you know what? Let's just have a chat as friends like we do, because I think right now the energies are so dense. And how do we navigate our way around this? Wow, the numbers are firing up, and thank you to everybody who consistently show me love, support, and encouragement. I don't not see any of these. I read all of my messages and I'm blessed and I'm humbled, and I've switched off. I've disconnected from the geopolitical side of things. I'm just keeping my vibe high and keeping my energy to a level where it's conducive for this war that we're in. Adeline, thank you. And welcome. How are you?
Oh, do you know what? I'm great. And I actually love that you really called this one and said, let's do this. Let's just, two friends who have been on this journey together, just, catch up and just talk about how we're feeling. Because do you know what? So many people are feeling so flattened right now and torn, and there's chaos and there's confusion. And so I think let's just do what we do best, Alta, be authentic and real and vulnerable and all of that, because it's who we both are naturally.
Yeah, Adeline, like since we did our first Water the Frequency, I think it would have been in February, we had a chat and it felt like, we were discussing everything about Kangen. But you and I have had many chats on the phone, which I really appreciate and value, because it's at these times we're forging connections with individuals that seem like we know each other from a different lifetime, or like from just somewhere else. Like there's this familiarity with people that's on this journey, and we are connecting at so many other levels. And I'm so grateful for that. I've just put up a post on Facebook just about an hour ago. I just want to acknowledge everybody who continuously just shares on this digital war that we're on, like on the digital platforms, and that are growing each day, growing stronger each day, and being vulnerable. Yes, correct. Being authentic. Because guess what? Being authentic in this movement is your superpower. Everyone knows that I love saying that. And it doesn't matter who knows what, doesn't matter who has the most followers, doesn't matter who has the biggest channel. I'm bloody shadow banned everywhere I'm going at the moment. Facebook bans me every 5 minutes. This was a 30-day ban. YouTube have stopped me from, having more followers. It's just actually culling people, but I don't care. Right now, I think it's so important to be true to self, honor where you're at every single day. As many of you know, that I go through sort of my ups and downs with my health, but, I'm still fighting, and I'm holding space for humanity. I'm feeling the collective energy. And this is what we were talking about, Adeline, that everything seems very intense. And it's felt like that for the last 16 months, but it's going through, it's cyclical. It's going through different cycles, and we are learning so much every single time. We feel like we're going down, but in that depth of feeling despair, we're learning something. We're cultivating strength. We're cultivating a sense of, inner unification of our self and soul, because essentially this is what this journey is about. The journey towards self, the journey towards home, and towards who we truly are. I was speaking to Malak Atwood this morning. I love him. I love him. I love Tracy. It's because of him I know you. And,
you met recently, didn't you? You met recently. You got
Yes,
to cook. You got to hug. Yeah.
we did. He's just a beacon of light and just the humor that we share. And I'm like, Mark, I miss you. Like, where are you? But we're all in our own kind of, our own energies, and we're preserving them, So I'll just say hello to a few people. Greg, hello. Marcus, Dizzy,
Greg.
brother from another mother. Here we go. But yeah, and you were saying, Adeline, that you're feeling this as well.
Yeah, and just on Mark, we were lucky. Actually, my husband had his 50th birthday at the weekend, so Mark doesn't live too far away from us. So he came along, which was just amazing to have his energy and presence there. As you say, his humor just lifts everything. But yeah, no, we are really feeling it. And we're feeling, I suppose, the chaos and the division energy right now. I just feel is so huge. I think that's what we really have to focus on, not allowing that divide to, as best we can, separate families and friends, that we all just respect each other's views and let us all stand in our truth, because, and it's just, I know both my husband and I have really been standing more in our truth lately, and it's getting a lot of kickback from people.
Yeah.
But yet it feels right, because like I'm not doing it from a place we're right, you're wrong. I'm doing it from a place of, okay, can we not please have a voice as well? Like right now in Ireland, and it's lashing rain here, grey skies, we're not allowed to eat indoors. Certain people are allowed to eat indoors. If you've had a certain Jabberwocky, you can go and you can sit indoor. But if you haven't had
a second, a Jabberwocky, you got the
name. But yeah, like we are now policed on the door going in, and we're not. Yeah,
really?
We're not allowed to eat. Yes, that's as of yesterday in Ireland.
Well, look what's going on in Australia. It's insane. Yeah. In Australia, in Cuba, in South Africa. And we're not shown any of this in the news. And unless we're sharing it on social media, which gets ridiculed and vilified as not being valid information and misinformation, this is the only platform, to be fair, that we can share this information, this kind of knowledge. But will the mainstream channels actually show you any of this? No. The protests were in London on Saturday. I didn't go to this one, and went to the one in Parliament on the last Monday, a week ago. And there was something so eerie about that energy, folks. I was there, and this kind of rage set inside when the police just sort of like lined up and wouldn't let me go. And it just showed how the tyranny is really starting to take place. And all I wanted to do was walk to the station. We were having conversations with the police. We were trying to, people were chanting like shame on you and all of that. I don't know how conducive any of this is, because these protests, we're screaming, we're shouting, it's great. We're seeing loads of numbers get together, and they're increasing every single day. But they don't seem to want to budge, and they're distorting the truth. And I could see this, like, if you look at their hats, they've got the Masonic sort of rim around their hats, the black and white sort of squares. And I just felt this really eerie energy when I looked into the eyes of one police officer, Adeline, and something happened to me. I felt sick, and he was so hell-bent on not budging. And there was an older woman there that said, listen, I need to go over there. My friends are there. My medication's in my bag. I just went to go and get something from the shops. He would not let this 70-plus woman go. We were stuck there for a while. So there's so many things that happened after that on Monday. And yet the media will portray it as insignificant. And how we are on the other side, crazy. And it's interesting to read what the other side are thinking right now about where we're at.
Yeah.
And it saddens me. It saddens me to see this divide is just there. It's so strong. But somebody's saying something here. Oh, goodness, that sounds so terrible. Yeah, it's not so much. It's just we have to be realistic of where we are.
Yeah.
In humanity right now, And
yes, it's hard. Like you can feel like the pain. Like it's you have to work hard to keep your vibration up and to keep your energy up. You have to keep reminding yourself, okay, if I get angry or annoyed or feel frustrated, that's not good for me. So what do I need to do right now to just drop that, send love, send light, and just be okay? And it's just like 10, 15, 100 times a day. Sometimes you have to go, okay, what do I need to do to just keep that vibing high?
You look at this message from, is it Diane Hill, Australians, Dwayne, sorry, I've got my glasses. Australians overran the cops in Melbourne, first time in 5 lockdowns. Amazing. We outnumbered them so big. Brilliant.
Wow.
See, this is what I want to hear. I want to hear these stories because, I mean, it was phenomenal, though. You know, people just expressing themselves to the police, to the constables. And I went on a common law workshop I've been going to common law workshops over the last few weeks, you know, just to educate myself and to be a peace constable. But it was only the day before that I'd done the training. And when I was there trying to speak to the police, I went, your oath is to protect us. I got under the pressure. I just sort of like rambled some nonsense. But it's so important to educate ourselves. And I actually will, everyone that's watching, I will be holding common law workshops on my YouTube. I'm not sure right now if I'm going to do it on the YouTube. My website's almost done. I'll be able to live stream on my own website, alpasoni.com. So I don't have this nonsense of being shadow banned. I'm shadow banned everywhere. I can't do anything.
You're a troublemaker, Alpa. You're a troublemaker.
I'm a troublemaker, aren't I? Well, I've slowed down post sort of when I got hit back in February, if you remember. That's why I got the Kangen water. We'll talk about that a bit later, but I got hit in February, and this is a spiritual war. So I can conclude what's going on many levels. But, you know, it's just so important to keep like eyeing the ball and our energy levels up there, you know. Hold on 1 second. My screen's going a bit funny. Yeah, there we go.
I think it's just important to keep an eye, or just to notice how you're feeling, just to notice. Don't ignore that. If you notice that you're feeling just flattened, or maybe just there's a little bit of anger burning up towards somebody because of what they said, or the government, or like the situation here, like I felt really frustrated yesterday that like I just thought, we are now being categorized as second-class citizens here. We have to eat on the streets while other people are allowed to eat inside. Now, that was just getting the fire inside me, I felt raging yesterday, but I knew I had to control that. I knew I had to acknowledge it and then let it through me and then move back into, okay, love for everybody and love and light. And you just have to keep going with that process. But it's really important not to suppress that. I do believe that you have to let that anger or frustration or whatever it is up and out. Up and out. It's like inflammation, up and out.
Wow. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, every single feeling that we're feeling, we're purging. This is the collective purging for humanity, and just feel the feels. There's some really good stuff that people are saying about Melbourne and Sydney, and saying Jan is saying that Melbourne and Sydney were amazing, and in Brisbane we had nearly 15,000 people there and not an incident. It was such a great day. That's great to hear. And to be fair, there hasn't been much trouble here in the UK, but it's the way the media portrays it. And we are on the other side known as COVIDiots, #COVIDiots. That's what the other side call us, just because we actually happen to think that, you know, we can take care of our health and believe in freedom. But yeah, you're right. We have to honor the space that we're in all the time. Tell me, how is it in terms of, you know, people who've had the V over there, and are you seeing the divide there in Ireland?
There's a huge divide. You can see it so clearly because like, and now what the government have done with the whole eating in and eating out, that's really actually, they're forcing the divide. You can, you know, now some restaurants are being fantastic and they're going to get the support. They're sharing on social media that the only card that they're going to ask for is a bank card and an ID card, you know, that they're not going to ask for the V passport going in, and that they're going to stay with the outdoor dining. But that's fine maybe in August. But I mean, have you seen Ireland in September and October? That's not going to work long term. But there is a divide, yeah. There is a divide. And it's sad. And there's pressure, there's peer pressure. I can see so many people have made the decision to go and get it based on peer pressure, based on pressure from their boss, pressure. I've heard of people being sacked because they didn't get it. There's a lot of pressure. And people who genuinely don't are compromising on their own values and their own truth because of the pressure. And that's sad. And it's tough for them.
It is. It's the herd mentality. Let's do what everyone else is doing so that we feel that we belong. And I get it at a psychological level, even a spiritual level, that it's everyone desires that connection, and they are well-meaning folks. There's this willingness to do the right thing, but because they've been so ingrained in believing that doing the right thing is having something that is not tested for how long has it been now? 8-9 months. They're not using and applying common sense. They've lost essentially the ability to critically think themselves, and they've outsourced their thinking elsewhere, to academia, to the media fraternities, everywhere else rather than within. And here we can like ascertain that, hang on a minute, this isn't right. There is something nefarious going on here. Let's inquire. Let's ask questions.
Exactly. That's the thing. Let's ask questions. There's people who would normally, and I heard this said recently, people who normally ask really good questions, highly intelligent people who would normally question something, have stopped asking the questions. They're kind of going, they're just being moved along with this herd mentality and this belief that they're actually doing the right thing. And again, that's where I think we have to be very careful. They believe in their heart and soul that they're doing the right thing. So it's not about making them wrong. They're just not stopping to ask the right questions. And they feel that they're doing the right thing, and that we're actually the crazies who are being totally socially irresponsible.
And I get it. I get it. Yeah. But then there's a moral compass here. A very good friend of mine, she goes to me a couple of days ago, she goes, Alpa, I'm horrified. This doctor friend of hers said I wouldn't touch it in a barge pole. She goes, I wouldn't even get it. Yet she gets paid £1 for every administered V, and she's just gone and bought herself a £6 million pad. Is this where we are in humanity? This is the depths of the Kali Yuga, as we say from the Bhagavad Gita. We're in the depths of the Kali Yuga, where money, material things are outweighing people's ability to have a moral flipping conscience. I don't believe in it. I'm not going to take it. I.e., that means that I know it's bad, but I'm a doctor and I get paid X amount of money per V that's administered. Yeah. And I'm going to relish in that, opportunity of making my pocket wealthy rather than look at the wider consequence for humanity and the validity of these things. That angers me. Me. Does. And when I heard that, I said, I'm going to need to take a walk here, because people have just honestly, you take over.
Let it up and out. Remember we said, let it up and out. Let it up and out. It's better for your own health to let it out. And then
getting paid to kill. That's right. Yeah. Where is the moral compass there? Why are we made to look like the loonies just because we happen to care? Enough is enough. Yeah. This divide, the only way is, I keep going on, unity consciousness. But we're going this way because egos are stepping in. People are frightened. I get it. I'm not judging. I've been sympathetic. I'm being compassionate. But I go through these waves when I hear things like that. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't take it. You get these videos where you're showing people taking the false ones for these celebrities. Can you not see? Like, sorry, guys, I'm going off on one. Mind me.
Like, it's like that series. I'm sure plenty of your followers have watched The Truth About Cancer. And when all the oncologists were interviewed, now I can't remember the exact percentage, so I'm not going to quote it. When they were asked, would they give chemotherapy to their family? I think only 7 or 9% said yes, they actually would. The rest said no way. Like, this is what we're dealing with, but yet they'll go out and they'll administer that and get paid for it, and off they go. And it's not helping and supporting people. It's just not. It's just not.
Yeah. And it is paid killers. I like that moniker. It's true. That is true. And people are so hooked into the media fraternity. India, the Bollywood fraternity runs the show. You've got all the actors endorsing it. This is how shallow thinking has become. And we're the bad ones just because we bring it up to the surface. No, everyone watching, you continue to fight. The movement has become so much bigger, and it warms my heart. It does. Because I remember in March, April last year, I felt so alone. I felt so alone. But then your tribe finds you. And you meet people, like-minded individuals, where you're like, actually, this is not for the money. This is not for the fame. Did I start this to win a popularity contest? No, heck no. I bloody got eggs thrown at me. But, you know, we carry on and look at where we are now. It's magnificent. It's beautiful.
When you stand in your truth, things work out. As I just say that people a lot of the time won't stand in their truth, and they won't honor their own values because they're fearful of losing X, Y, or Z, whether that's family, whether it's a job, whether it's status, whatever it is. But if you actually move forward in your life and don't hold on to who you are, your life's not going to work. But when you can have we call it the leet rodi in Ireland, the balls to move forward and stand in your truth, and just for a short time, let the plates drop, let the ping pong balls just fall everywhere. I 100% believe, like, God takes care of you. He goes, okay, there's my little one down there. She's doing the right thing. I look after her. That is my belief, 100%. We are taken care of when we do the right thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Someone's just written, my doctor told me HCQ is very dangerous and it shouldn't be taken. She laughed inside. That's Empress 13. Thank you for that. That's probably because Trump told them to take it. So anything that he said, you know, is misinformation. Who is it? Somebody said something about me. Alpa is angry today. It's righteous anger, darling. It's a chill, girl. They feed off the negativity. We love you, Holt, and I love you. I'm. It's righteous anger, but I think if we balance it out, like we can just share memes all day on Facebook, on social media, do loads of these videos. But what are we doing in love? Love in action. That's what my show's called. And it's like if we are staying in our truth continuously, that's love in action, not sort of minimizing ourselves with other people. You know, like if you know, standing firm in our belief system, congruent with what we stand for. Even like I have these conversations with my mom all the time. Like I don't do things just to keep the peace. Keeping the peace, that's subordinating. Yeah. If we want change, we have to be that change.
Yeah. And it's okay to feel a bit angry sometimes. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not a robot. You know, you're a human being. You've got emotion. But as you say, if that's righteous anger, that's just coming up just for you to let it up and out. Because I think too many people think that you have to push that down and suppress it because you have to be perceived in a certain way because you're the spiritual badass that is Alpa Soni, that you're, oh God, you can't get angry. Yes, you can get angry, but let it up and out. Like you're not getting angry in an egoic way. It's in a passionate, righteous, standing up for your truth way, and that's a very different anger. It's a very different anger. And then you're just collecting yourself down and going, okay, where do I need to move? And you just
agree.
And you're being human. You're being like you're acknowledging a very real emotion. Like you're not emotionally devoid. You can't be at this time because we're sad and we're happy and then we're angry and then we're frustrated and then we're confused and we're just constantly on this roller coaster of emotions. Well, I am anyway. I mean, I can only speak for myself.
I think everyone, if we look at all the comments, everyone, thank you. I love the reciprocity here. It's just amazing. I have to say, my Facebook friends are just beautiful. They are such amazing people. I can't tell which is which, by the way, whether it's face. Oh, okay, it would help. Yeah, it's got the Facebook sign. That shows you who's it from. Okay. Alpa. There's both YouTube and Facebook. They're just amazing individuals, and I love how people share. And folks, if I don't respond to you, just know that I read everything. Yeah. And I feel proud. I feel proud when I feel like a connection there with every single person that I interact with. And anyone that trolls me, well, you know, sayonara. But yeah, you know, we can, it's all too very well to get affected by stuff. And righteous anger, there's a difference because that calls us to take action. And that action can change a life or can have an impact on actually sort of turning something around. So I had somebody say to me, and that was very much on the other side. I said, after just reading your posts, Alpa, you're relentless. I'm like, no, I'm getting banned. You're not reading anything yet. I'm not doing what I used to do for the first 3-4 months. And to be fair, it's got so emotionally taxing at that time. I feel like my memory has gone. And I say this all the time that I can't even remember half the stuff that I was doing back then because this journey has moved so quickly, so fast, and it's been intense and quite dramatic. And the twists, the turns, the this, the that, she's bad, she's a shill, he's this, he's that. It's just got overconsumed with so many different emotions and different scenarios and different narratives playing out. Who has it right? Who has all the answers? But the beautiful thing is people are taking action, love and action. And that's what I love. Even if I'm not part of it, if I can't, these people that I've been learning the common law workshop, they're going up and down the country. A guy called Suk and Ben and Alan of Salisbury. We've been holding these workshops in a place in Harlow for my friend's place, Louise. And I tell you, they're just phenomenal. We're really kind of just empowering ourselves. So if people are interested in that, if I've got enough interest, I will be holding some workshops on my YouTube. And let me know, just contact me on Facebook if you're interested. Yeah, if you're spending more time in complaining than spending it to unite with others like yourself, then there's something wrong here. I agree.
Completely agree. And that's what I'm saying. So it's just about noticing your emotion and your feeling and then letting it go, but going back into that feeling of just love and light and compassion for everybody, no matter where they're at, because, you know, it's challenging.
They love your Irish accent. Yeah. Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. This is so nice though, when you can interact with people on a live, isn't it? Have you done a live before?
No, I haven't. And so I can't see I can see some of the comments coming up. I should really look at it on my phone.
You can see it.
It's the first for me.
Yeah. Well, we just spontaneous, and I just said, let's just go live. We were going to just do a Zoom recording, but I think the fact that I can show this both on Facebook and on YouTube is lovely. Yeah, there are thousands of scientific papers supporting hydrochloroquine. I agree. J Vitality. So I went, so I don't know if ever anyone can notice, but I've woken up with, over the last few days, I went to Westfield on Sunday. It's the first time I've been out in such a huge crowd. I avoid them like anything, like the plague. I hate going out in really crowded places because the energies, I just really pick things up. And but I had to go. I went to get some of the IV injections, and I came back and I started feeling a bit funny. I'm doing everything that I can for the, for what they call the shedding. But I came up with a big rash around my eyes. I'm not sure if anyone can see it here. And some other places. And I thought that it's just my own thing. It's just me. My mum has said it. She's had it, and another 2-3 friends. And I saw this video about people coming out in rashes. It's pretty freaky.
What is it? Like, what's causing? What is it? What's
because of the spike protein? Well, I can't really say because they'll probably shut me down again. I've just got back on. But because of
yeah, I know. Have you soaked it in the 11 point?
Yes,
in the strong?
That's exactly what I did this morning. What I did, guys, I've got the Kangen water, so I use the 11.5, which shows up as the 2.5 on the machine of the water, and I just soaked it. It stung a bit initially, really stings around the eyes, but yeah, I did that. It was really good, and I'm taking that every day, and I have found it's been how long have I had it now, Adeline? Since February. February, yeah. So I haven't actually really spoke about that, but we'll speak about that in a second. But has anyone just on the live chat been feeling any of this? Has anybody been getting these rashes? Because I want to try and ascertain that if it's because of people who've been jabberwockied.
I heard you saying that one day. I thought that was just the best word ever.
I can't have credit for that. It's from Catherine Edwards. And she says it really funny. She goes, for those of the people who've taken the Jabberwocky.
It's amazing when something is said in different accents, how, the
Jabberwocky. I love it. Do you think the AI will pick that up? You've had a Jabberwocky.
I wonder if you say it really poshly. If you say like a Jabberwocky, then maybe it doesn't.
Every nation has factually rose and fell with the implementation of money now, and they're trying to have a global digital money system. Yep. Well, this was all written, like this is all following a template, which we knew about last year. It's just playing out now. How it's going to pan out, look, I'm positive. I stay in that high vibrations, but I also stay in a realistic place as well. You know, I don't align myself to any narrative. I listen to everyone. Yeah. And to be honest, I don't keep up to date with every single thing all the time. You were saying, before we started the conversation, that you haven't been either. It's not necessary to as such. It depends where you're at internally. As long as you know that this isn't right and this is going towards a place where they want everyone Jabberwockied, and you're not doing it, that in itself is standing in your sovereignty and in your truth, in the universal truth. You know, according
listening
to
your inner guidance as well, just really tuning into that more and more and more. And I've actually seen a huge increase in people who are really recognizing their inner guidance, and maybe who mightn't have, you know, given that any credit before or any kudos to it before. And I've seen so many more people kind of going, yeah, and it was we were camping last week with the kids actually, and these couple of young guys came in. They're probably in their early 20s, and one of them was saying he was feeling a lot of pressure from his parents to go and get the Jabberwocky. And he was saying, but I thought it was beautiful. And this was like nice little few drinks, and I'm having a bit of crack. He says, something just now down in me gut, he said, something down low just tells me it's not a good idea. And I went, whoa, that's amazing. I said, he's your 20-something-year-old lad from rural Ireland, you know, having a few drinks, having the crack, and he was about to do it, and he just recognized his inner gut. But he listened to it. I thought that was phenomenal. So I really acknowledged him for that. And then his other friends started kind of joining in on the conversation as well. And they both left feeling that it was okay to listen to their inner guidance, whereas they were feeling so much pressure. Now, let's hope they remembered it the next day is all I can say. But, you know, it was lovely to see that. And I'm seeing more and more and more people, you know, recognize that, but then they're not listening, and they're going, why didn't I listen? That's what I felt. I really felt it, but I went against it, and now X, Y, and Z has happened. So listen. Oh my God, it's the only thing that people get from today is just listen to that first nudge that you get, because everything after that will try and talk you out of it. But that very first nudge that you get, that's the truth. That's your truth.
Yeah. I spoke to the lady who lost her husband at the rally in Parliament on Monday. Stephen Wright, I think it was, is her husband's name, and he died from the AZ, 32 years old. And when you listen to people who were on the other side and you hear their story, and I spoke to her for a while, I spoke to her friend, and you come to a place of like, wow, she said, I didn't know. You know, she was on the other side, and to lose her husband as a result of this, who was perfectly healthy, no prior health conditions, and boom, within days of that, people are not connecting this. And this is the sad part. And I know over 20 people who have been either injured or have passed. And unfortunately, do you think, Adeline, we have this ego issue here now because we've gone so far in? Yeah. And those that are hell-bent to stay in their narrative and clutch to their opinions, their views, their truth, they believe that this is the savior. They believe that this cheesecloth over your face is going to save you, without actually looking at the scientific evidence that it's preposterous and a load of codswallop. Yeah. That it's actually saving you from anything apart from depriving you from oxygen. That's the common sense thing here. But right, fair enough. They're so hell-bent on holding and clutching to their narrative that now it's become an ego issue here.
I don't know if it's ego, or is it just immense fear, and immense fear of actually asking the right questions, the immense fear of, you know, well, ego probably is, yeah, you could call it ego too, because they're afraid of how they look and how they appear. So if they're in a certain, maybe, you know, they've got a certain status, or, you know, among family or friends or whoever they are, or whoever they like, that all that ego, it's just, yeah, I think people are just really afraid, really, really, really afraid. And that deep down, I really do believe they know that it's not right, that there's something not right.
I hope so, and that's what this is doing.
Yeah.
Actually, she's been able to learn from him, so we should learn from his channel. Mark Christopher. Okay, nice. Thank you, Samantha.
But isn't just the most important thing right now? I've seen some of your beautiful followers saying that, you know, our energy is helping them today. I think that's what we have to do. We have to keep our energy and our vibe and our frequency and our vibration as high as we can, whatever way we can, for as many people as we can on a daily basis. And if we're going to have the angry, frustrated thoughts, have that among the people that you know can support you on that. Like us chatting now, kind of going, Alpa, let it up and out, up and out. And like, I'm feeling kind of a bit heightened as well at the minute, you know, especially in the last few days. But I know where I can be that way, and I know where I can't be that way. So I know I can be that way with the people who are feeling the same, and we're kind of just helping each other to navigate it. Calm down and then focus on raising our frequency again, because keeping our voltage and our frequency up right now is just massively important for our own immune system.
Absolutely.
For healing and for our healing and for our journey.
Absolutely. I just want to draw upon this question from Miss Chrome Sticks. Sorry, I can't read this far because the screen's a bit far from me. Alpa, do you think that the Jabberwocky targets one race more than another? Good question. Coming from the Indian background, practically everybody I know have taken it. Everyone. They're still not open to. Well, there are a lot of people that haven't, but they won't openly express it. So within my communities, coming from the Indian background, let's call a spade, they think I'm absolutely bonkers. And that doesn't bother me in the slightest. There's very few people that within this 1 year that I would have thought by now would be openly speaking for this truth, this freedom, and against this tyranny and this crap that we're going through. And it does anger me at times, because even though when I go to these rallies, very few, I can count on one hand how many Indian people represented. That said, and I say this respectfully, not against my people, because I've got nothing but love for the Indian community, but everyone that I know has taken it, bar a few. And there's something very telling about that. Why? So many Indian people are doctors, dentists, accountants, and, you know, following the academic fraternity and believing the news and the media fraternity. And there's a resistance, a real cognitive dissonance there to believe anything other than what the media and the doctors that are advocating this and the celebrities that are endorsing this, rather than. And so, yeah, I am considered quite crazy, but I spoke to a pharmacist friend of mine from up north, said all the Asian community have taken it. Does it target one more than another? I think it's trying to target everyone with the way that they are mass marketing this and the manners that they're mass marketing it. And it's crazy that people cannot actually apply basic common sense to why do they need to do this to the extent that they're doing it, and the way that they're having to enforce it. These questions are not being asked. So good question. Thank you for that. Let me just catch up on a few. Sorry, there's just loads of people. Yeah. Adeline, you're a superstar. They love you.
I think it's me somehow, Alpa. I had a friend yesterday say to me actually that she was afraid to go and get bloods done to check on something in case it was just given to her by by the way, I gave you that. Yes,
that happened. I saw that in my friend's post. One of her friends had to get a minor operation done, and while she was put under the anesthetic, they said we gave the vaccine. The Jabberwocky at the same time.
Yeah, Lisa's saying breathing exercise and meditation will help. They help so much. I just say it's breath is the most important thing we can focus on, is our breath and breathing. And you know, it's amazing. A meditation, even if it's a minute or two. People think they have to meditate for hours and then you don't. You can meditate for 1 minute and feel good.
That definitely. I mean, I draw upon my exercising, Kundalini yoga, Wim Hof. I've started doing that.
Wow. And
then, of course, all the other stuff. You know, there's so much we can do to help with all these effects of the shedding. I don't need to. I've had a show with Anna Rogers about that as well. I think people are quite, well educated on the do's and don'ts. You know, I'm drinking a lot of pine needle tea. There's suramin as well, which I'm going to get. Sasha actually recommended that to me, Sasha Stone. They were all wiped out in America. There's stuff going out there in the atmosphere in the US. We just got to be careful and ride the storm, folks. You know, do the best we can. And yes, I agree with you, Adeline, is keeping our vibe up. And I do that with Kangen water.
Yay!
I tell you one thing, feedback from that, by the way. I've had that since February, and I haven't been posting about it. I'm not here to sell it to anyone. You do what you want, but changing your water for sure is something that I would definitely say, because we don't even know what they're putting in it now. Right?
Yeah, we don't. But the most important thing about changing your water, though, is at this time, I do believe that a really simple way of keeping your energy and your frequency and your voltage up, because it's just, our cells have a voltage. We have a voltage. We're water beings and we're electrical beings. That's what we are. So keeping our voltage up means that our bodies can heal itself. So you'll never hear me say, oh, Kangen water cures fibromyalgia, for example, or cures this or cures that. It doesn't. But when you raise your cell voltage and you keep your frequency and your vibration up, your body goes, I can go heal myself now. So you're giving your body the power to go and do what it needs to do, apart from being totally, flattened and just all your energy and frequency lowered with all the acidic foods and drinks and toxins and just lowering your vibration all the time. And then the... And
knowing though that, so for me, I use that, and since I've been using it, I've always tried to buy organic food if it's available. So not even try, that's what I always buy. And I now wash it knowing that with the acidic, the 11.5 function, know that I can, I'm washing my stuff and it's all kind of purifying it, as it were, doing what I can, because I'm quite paranoid about all the chemicals and everything that they have in the vegetables in itself. Mark was saying that today to me on the phone. He's like, Alpa, what you're eating, if you're not eating organic, then we just don't know how harsh the chemicals they're putting it in all our vegetables and stuff. But yeah, this is the best thing that I've done. It's the best
and
thing
even organic, Alpa, I hope you're still washing your organic with the 11.5, because
what I'm doing.
Organic, when you wash it with 11.5, you're actually energizing your food. You're soaking it in a negatively charged, negative in this instance is good, so in a negatively charged water. So you're actually giving some life and energy to your food and going to even extend the life of it in the fridge way longer when you soak it in this water. So
I tell you, my mum and Kenzo really seen the difference. My mum actually said it recently. She said that I've really, really noticed a difference. And for me, I'll be honest, the first month I was a bit, okay, I just know that I'm drinking clean water. Great. And mine kicked in after the third month for me personally. Definitely.
Everybody's journey is different. That's why people always say to me, oh, how long is it going to take me to see a difference? Some people get phenomenal differences in like 2 days. Others, it can take weeks or months. Because I always say, look, I don't know what's going on for you on the inside. I don't know how long it's going to take your body to readjust and start to balance itself back out again and take itself out of that really acidic state. As you know, that acidic state leads to inflammation, leads to oxidation, and that's what's causing chronic disease.
Yeah, so, and you speak to so many people. I mean, you've been speaking to a lot of people on these platforms recently, and it's been just a crazy journey for you, hasn't it? What has been the feedback in these last 5 months?
The feedback,
it's just been a whirlwind for you.
It has. I'm so grateful. I know we've mentioned Mark a few times, but I'm so grateful to Mark being the catalyst for this, because Mark has actually been a customer of ours and a friend of ours for 4 years now, and he's had this. So this isn't like, oh, this is something that we're going to just take and bring to this platform and just do it. No, this is something he's had and believed in, and that he knew that, more people needed to get access to. And what he knows that I won't do is sell at all costs. He knows that nobody I speak to is going to feel sold to. I even had one lady about 2 weeks ago come to me and say, is this like a 3D company now or a 5D company? Because if you're going to hit me with the old sales spiel, she says, forget about it. Don't even email me back.
That's what I get. Like, hey, look at these chickens. Know them.
Yeah. And I said, that's one thing about this company that's just phenomenal. We're just in the process of educating. I am totally unattached. And people say to me, but you're giving me your time. I says, my job, or I see my role or my calling with this product is actually just to share this information with people. As you said, what you do with that, that's entirely up to you. And some people can get up on their high horse and really, start attacking. I'm going, whoa. I'm just sharing this information. If this is not for you, walk on. Do something else. That's okay. Whatever you choose is perfect. But I know the difference this makes. The feedback from our customers all over the world has been phenomenal. It's just been life-changing. I mean, I had a beautiful testimony there from a 70-year-old man in a reverend in, oh God, somewhere in America, I can't remember where now. Like he said, he hadn't been able to go out walking for years, and now he's back out walking. Why? Because his inflammation has been reduced in his body, and he's just feeling more energy. And it's really simple.
But I actually drink first thing in the morning turmeric with it's like a shot. It's like a tequila shot of black pepper, turmeric on an empty stomach with the Kangen water. Mark actually was like, try this. I drink to drink a pint upon waking, just nothing but that, just a pint of the water at I use 9.5. And I started doing that, and then now I add chlorophyll into it as well. One thing though I've noticed though that I haven't been using is the zeolite, and I don't know if that has, you know, because I've run out for the last 2 weeks, and I don't know if that's caused this, because it really stung when I put the water on.
Oh God.
Yeah. It's
I use the zeolite all the time as well. I love it. I've got an extra bottle there if I want me to. I could pop one in the post to you till yours comes if you want. You might just.
Yeah. No. It's fine. It's just I'm just observing this, and I'm just interested in seeing how people are, those that haven't had it done, and if they're feeling anything. I've noticed a lot of my friends say they've had an impact on their menstrual cycle. Adeline, spoke to a friend last night, and she just said, "Oh my God, is that what it is?" And I was saying, seriously, like this is causing like all sorts, and we're none like, how do we know? You know, you're going to be in public places. I went to Westfield on Sunday, and it was really good to see that a lot of people weren't wearing masks. So like the majority weren't. There were a few people, but that was really good to see. But you know what that's going to mean come autumn? It's because people weren't masks and people haven't taken the Jabberwocky. It's all going to be our fault.
Yes, of course. We're socially irresponsible, crazy people. I see Jay Vitality there is saying that chlorine is carcinogenic. It is. Chlorine was introduced, I think, back in 1907 after a typhoid breakout. You know what I mean? So it's actually designed to kill living organisms. That's chlorine's purpose. And yet that's put into our water supply. So, I mean, I just kind of say to people, just in case you haven't noticed, you're a living organism. And this is what it's designed to do. So it's not going to kill you in one glass or one mouthful or over a month. Over time, it's just eating away at you. Like, you know, if you're drinking chlorinated water, just, you know, nonstop, it's slowly just eating away at you. It's awful.
Oh, got Carmen. Hello, Carmen. I think that people have not had the empathy for years. I agree. And as we age, we are invisible to the other generations. I keep myself to myself. Don't keep yourself to myself. Let's all wish Carmen a lot of love and sending her so much love. Don't want anything. No, I don't want to know anything. Happy with me. Oh, this is it. You see, people are going through so many different emotions in this, and there's different kind of relations that they have with people, how people are impacted psychologically. If you're more introverted, how they're coping. And this is the whole purpose of us doing things like this, is to raise the frequency. I never intend to like create any negativity, but I will say what I have to say. You know, and it's how we interpret that. Everything else essentially boils down to perception and our intentions, and, you know, what we perceive a situation to be and how we're interpreting that. You know, try to come from an observer now, and what is ultimately our intention. And here we are trying for the greater good of humanity. And on the other side, they're thinking they're on the great good of humanity. We've got two people.
Yeah. We do.
So if we look at that like that, you know.
And I think our intention has to be just, you know, every day, if we can just help one person lift their head out of where they are and feel better. Because that's actually, like, you asked me what's the feedback I get. And let's just forget about the water for a minute. Well, the biggest feedback I get since I've been on these different platforms since January all over the world is how grateful so many people are for the family, like the YouTube or the Bitchute or wherever they are, the support, because it actually has kept them sane. It has kept them going. They said they did not know where their lives would be other than that, because so many people actually have got nobody in their life to share this with. And I forget that, because I feel very blessed. Like my husband we're completely aligned. We've got our closest friends, you know, are completely aligned. Our children are awake and completely aligned. So I forget, and I don't stop to think sometimes what it must feel like to be in a world where nobody in your life And everybody just actually really does see you as a complete crazy, like, and you're very isolated. And so many of our customers that I've met all over the world, they have been so grateful to you and to the others. And then what we do then with the water is I say, well, if you want, I said, we've got an amazing community. You can just jump on our calls. We've got like these kind of community calls that we have, and you can become part of that, because we are on a mission as well to help people change their lives and change their frequency by simply changing their water. So if you want to join us on that journey, you know, you can embrace us as a family as well as having these. And like, I just got off the phone, but I've got this amazing 70-year-old woman in Florida who actually has partnered with us on this journey. And it's just been phenomenal to work alongside her and watch how she's just growing and getting so confident in herself and just sharing this information with people.
Yeah.
Again, totally unattached. It's beautiful to watch, actually.
It is. And this is the journey to be heard and to be seen. There's something that's happening with the evolution of our own souls. This is a journey of self-discovery. We are learning so much about ourselves. I mean, I couldn't even think and fathom that I would have a YouTube channel and speaking out like this. Because of the fibromyalgia and how I used to feel on a day-to-day basis with the brain fog, not remembering anything, and then screaming about what I did. Hey, great, you know, I do what I can and however much I can on a day-to-day basis. There was feelings of inadequacy on a day-to-day basis where I'd be like, why can't I retain this information? Because I really want to help people so much. And, you know, I'm not clever enough, or I'm not. The self monkey chatter starts all the time because of the way that we've been minimized. And essentially, this is all cabal-based programming that have, you know, minimized people over the years without even realizing it's been so covert. And, you know, people who are coming out essentially are coming into their own authenticity, into their sovereignty, into their power. And that's what I love seeing. And I love hearing those stories. And I just, you know, I've taken a bit of a backseat. I do what I can on a day-to-day basis. You know, I'm not answerable to anyone, yet I know that my heart is filled with love and compassion for humanity. Do I get it right all the time? Absolutely not. You know, I don't have all the answers, nor do I claim to, but I know that what my intention and what my perception on this movement is, and I will not back down. I will not go onto the other side. I will not cave in just so that it supports the majority, or my family and friends think I'm great. And suddenly one of my friends said this to me, they go, Alpa, we didn't sign up to this you, right? Yeah. They haven't signed up to this you.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a massive statement in itself. We haven't signed up to this you.
It's amazing how when you can step up, like how you've stepped up, that's your purpose. You are, this is your purpose right now. And it can be, like you said, so scary when you started with this, and next thing you've got all these followers, and then there's a kind of almost like a responsibility. Yeah,
I know.
Like even when Mark said to me at the start, we're doing this, I was like, oh no, I can't. I said, I don't even do really social media that much. I don't do lives. I don't do videos. I don't do this thing. And he goes, well, you know, I was like, oh, okay. But then I really got this, again, that nudge deep down going, no, this is your part to play. Yes, it might be smaller than Alpa's or smaller than somebody else, but it doesn't matter.
No,
But I say to people along the way, it doesn't matter. If you only touch one person on this journey, if that's your purpose, that's your purpose. Whether it's 1, 100, or 1,000,001, it actually doesn't matter. We all have our role. So that's why I say to people all the time, just don't ever feel that what you're doing is not enough. If you're doing something that you're guided to do, it's enough. It's enough.
Yeah.
God, can I get my charger? My MacBook's about to die. My wonderful husband, my MacBook's about to die.
I think someone, J Vitality. Okay, I don't agree. The other side don't think for themselves. Okay, yeah, no, fair enough. It's just a generalized comment where I'm saying that if knowing the information where so many doctors and people, not us conspiracy Looney Tunes with the tinfoil hat that just do nothing but watch YouTube videos and are conspiracy theories, because, you know, clearly we, you know, woke up one morning to do that. No, what I think I'm trying to say is that given the facts and proof that we've relayed in this movement about the Jabberwocky not working, for example, about what happened with Fauci, a lot of the things that have been proven, and you're presenting scientific facts and data and stuff on the government website, there is still like, yeah, but everyone else is doing it. So I mean it in that context, just to be clear and clear that up, that, you know, we're not, I'm perhaps generalizing here, and I don't mean to offend anyone, but people have stopped thinking for themselves. Because
But
if they did think, they're not asking questions. They're in false evidence appearing real. They're in the fear narrative.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. So, it's one thing. I saw this really interesting interview with Don Bongino earlier on today on Fox News. And he's actually speaking to someone that is coming out with complete cognitive dissonance responses to what he's saying. And this is evident and proof that people are just on completely two different wavelengths and frequencies, and how they're expressing themselves and believing what they want to believe. So it's very convenient to think that we are crazy. It's very convenient to think that, despite proving time and time again that stuff that we've been shouting about 15 months ago is actually happening now. Like, flatten the curve, 3 weeks to flatten the curve. I mean, look at where we are still. And we don't even know where we're going in 3 weeks.
This is so funny. We're 56 minutes in and I've only just discovered that I can see the comments.
It's okay.
This is how not used to this I am. That is so funny. Oh my
gosh,
God.
Yeah, we're 56 minutes in. I didn't even realize an hour.
That is
I thought we were going to just have like a 30-minute quick catch up.
I'll stop. Yeah. And I'm flicking through them. I see some people have got questions about the water. So look, I can go back to those directly. So, and maybe if you would.
Let's go back to some of those, because we're going to wrap the show up. And what a great turnout. Lovely. On both the platforms. And I'm really, this is spontaneous. I think spontaneous always works. People got to see me have a bit of a rant today.
That's good.
Everyone knows where I'm coming from. It's never negative. It's always conducive and well-intended. But anyone got offended? My humble apologies. Yeah, so what were the questions? Did you remember any of them?
No, just somebody was just asking, was there a link? So maybe if you could post that link, Alpa, just maybe in the whatever the section is, or I can put it in the comments. I can't see how to make a comment. I can see the comments, but I can't see how to make one. So, but I can jump in afterwards and I'll look at both if anybody does want more information. Look, as I said, that's what we're here for. We're here to share the information. I've got a really nice kind of a general, bit of information I can send with some links that you can go and do your own research on it. You don't have to take my word or Alpa's or anybody else's. You can go do your own research, and then I'll come back and answer any questions if you have them. This is really just about empowering people to ask the right questions and make.
I have one where somebody on the last show that we did, the difference between the distilled water tanks and Kangen water. If you could just address that.
Yeah, I'm going to address that because, again, it's something that's really important, actually. I had a message from somebody the other day saying that they were actually about to invest in a distilled water system. And they said that something actually, again, in their being was kind of, I don't know if this is the best thing to do, but they didn't know what else. With the information that they had, it was the best decision that they could make. When you distill water or you purify water in any way, because purified water and filtered water are very, very different. And people get confused about what's what. So purified water means that you've removed everything from the water. Now there's no question or doubt about it. It's clean. Okay. But you've also removed, you've removed the goodies and you've removed the baddies. But the thing here is you've removed the goodness from the water, the naturally occurring minerals from the water. So for that reason, I don't recommend purified water, because we need those naturally occurring minerals in our water. So I always say to somebody, look, if this system isn't for you, I'm always happy to recommend what is, in my opinion, because I've been in the water industry for, well over 20 years now. We had a water filtration company for 18 years, and we've been focused solely on this product now for 6 years. So it's not like I've just swanned into the water business and I don't know my shit. I know what I'm talking about. So please.
She's a badass.
A water badass.
A water badass.
A water badass. So retaining the essential minerals is absolutely essential. And if Kangen for you, I will guide you. There's a couple of brands I really recommend, because they're what I had for years myself before I had this. So this is just another level. So if that's for you, great. But if not, I'm happy to recommend. But just definitely distilling water, unless you're very educated about remineralizing, which most people wouldn't be at all, like remineralizing naturally.
It's trust spring water. Can we trust spring water? Somebody's just asked.
Yeah, you can trust spring water if you, I suppose, are very familiar with the source and what's happening maybe within a 10-mile radius or even further. And well water too, somebody's asking. Again, well water, spring water are the best sources of water. But what you have to be very careful about is to make sure that at least you have ultraviolet light or something on there to kill any bacteria, because it could be contaminated from 10 miles away from farming or construction or whatever. But good quality, well, high in the mountains, the water is clean. Yeah, exactly. Down on the plain, it's dirty. That's a really
aquapros.com for magnetized water. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, haven't heard of that. But yeah, no, like this is replicating, I suppose, what you find in nature, that water that's coming off the glaciers. So thank you to whoever said that about the mountain water. The water that's coming off the glaciers, that's got movement, that's got energy, that's charging off sand and stone. Like that's alive, energized water. What we have is alive, energized water. And the proper term actually is electrolyzed reduced water. So go and research the benefits of electrolyzed reduced water or molecular hydrogen in a reputable search engine. Go to Google Scholar or DuckDuckGo or somewhere like that and research electrolyzed reduced water. You'll be blown away by the peer-reviewed studies that are there on the health benefits and the hydrogen. It's all about the hydrogen.
And we've got Celine Sampson. Hi, Celine. Says, great chat, thank you. What do you think of boiling water, then leaving it to cool? I add a stick of charcoal into the water bottle to help draw out any remaining toxins. Good.
Yeah, that's a great idea to get your water clean for sure. But you still, what are you cooking with? What are you preparing your food with? There's still, a lot of chemicals getting in there. So maybe if you're on your own, that might work well. But if you're a family of 5 or 6, that's a very onerous task every day to have some clean water. Yes, it works to get your water clean, but it still doesn't energize it or charge it in any way.
This is a really irrelevant point, but the Kangen water, it just keeps me company sometimes, it just talks to me. It's like Kangen water, 9.5.
Does she make you feel good?
Yeah, Ken's always boxed to it. We used to in the beginning, now he's got used to it. No, that chestnut. Yeah, no, I didn't realize though until only when I spoke to you a few months ago about the 2.5. I was like, where is the 11.5 here?
When you press the 2.5 the bottom, 11.5 the top. So that's your natural, if you've got, like, we'll say, like puffy ankles or inflammation on an elbow or a joint or something, you can wrap that, like soak, we'll say, a muslin cloth in 11.5 and wrap your joint that's swollen. And it's a really powerful anti-inflammatory. What's that? Alpa plus Adeline plus water.
I love Fred. He is so sweet. I have to just have a shout out to Fred McIntyre. You are amazing. You're such a beautiful energy. He always does the gematria for all my shows.
Really?
Yeah, he done something earlier and I was trying to find it because I wanted to show it, but he's saying about your name, and then he just interprets our numerology, the gematria, to what we're talking about, and he does that for all of the things that I share, all my shows. He's an absolute diamond. I love you, Fred. I love you. I love you. I love you. You're amazing. But sorry, well, just interrupted there. But the functions we were talking about 11.5. When I call you, like being a damsel in distress, saying, where is 11.5? But it's actually the 2.5. And also when I have to clean the machine, I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I call Adeline. And that's the beauty. She's always there to support you. I love that about you.
Well, I say that to people, this is a big investment. So, like, you get the support. You just don't buy it and we just don't leave you hanging. You get the support, you get the community groups, or you get the webinars on how to use it and get the most from it. So, yeah, we're here to make sure that you do get the most from it. And that's really important to us, actually taking care of. And some people like to interact a lot and some people, go about it their own way and they're happy to figure it out. So, I mean, our motto here is always meet people where they're at. So that's what we do. If you need we'll give you lots of attention. If you don't like too much attention, we leave you where you're at.
I love that's my favorite saying. You can only meet others as far as you've met yourself. So this is the thing. In this journey, we have to learn that when we're seeing our brothers and sisters on the other side, as much as I get angry and annoyed and stuff, I hold nothing but love in my heart because I care. And that anger is like you trying to get people to think the way you think, because you think that, yes, this information that you're saying about the Jabberwockies and about all this other conspiratorial side of things, you want them to believe you because it's wrong, it's bad, it's this, it's that. People can only meet you as far as they've met themselves and how programmed they are. And we understand this, or understand this, that this is how deep the collective programming has been for centuries. This is nothing new. This rule of divide and conquer has been going on thousands and thousands of years. It's just playing out in a different context. So what do, my brothers and sisters? We observe, and we observe what's going on within. And we look after self, because I've made the mistake. I get too emotional about things, but I put my hands up to that, and that's what makes me me, right? And I don't judge myself anymore. I don't condemn myself. I love myself. We must all love. This is the journey of self-love, and I've only learned to do that in the last 2 years. When you people ask me, what does it mean to love yourself? It's such a simple question, but it's such a big question. Self-love is so important in this journey. And the energy that we are sharing with each other, is it going to elevate them, or is it demotivating them? So you can actually articulate yourself aggressively, not aggressively, or what seems in my case sometimes aggressively when I get angry, but that's not the intention. It is that righteous anger for, the greater good, for humanity, what I feel, what I perceive it to be. So, and this is where we are. We're on this journey, and we're just observing, but keeping ourselves calibrated at all times, or recalibrate if we're in this polarized state. And that's what we do. And it is by the things that we consume, the things that we listen to, the things that we hear, the energies that we are sharing ourselves with. It's a spiritual war. We have to see where our spiritual auras are strengthened at this time. You feel weak inside, boof, you can be easily knocked off, and few of the big speakers, and I'm not going to mention names, they've been hit, and they talk a lot about the spiritual stuff. This is spiritual warfare. So, but you're a sovereign being of light, and when you affirm that nothing can touch you, I tell you, that will reverberate in every cell of your body. And, you can have just a little bit of a setback, but you come straight back up. And that's what I believe in.
And that's you being authentically you, and just kind of saying, yes, I get a bit heightened and a bit but that's authentically Alpa. Like, I used to be told too that I'm just a bit too much. You're a bit too intense, Adeline. Like, when you get like, I get heightened, and my voice I get faster, and I get louder, but that's just who I am. If I'm passionate about something, or something is important to me, that's my natural response. And for years you kind of try to dumb that down, or you try to people don't like me that way. No, do you know what? This is it. This is what you get. This is me. And if you like me, great. If you don't, that's okay too. And I don't need to be liked or loved by anybody. You don't need to be liked or loved. No. None of us do. But we just need to be the same way then towards other people. So compassion for where other people are at. And just a complete trust that we're taken care of. And pull out those little prayers we did before we started. Pull out those I call them my tools, like just your protective
disciplines.
Yeah, whatever they are for you. For me, it's just, if I feel a spiritual attack, it's just, no weapon formed against me shall prosper in Jesus' name, amen. That's it. I just pull that out and it's done. Or I say back off, and it's done. And I think somebody commented there that, I think he said, well, a lot of, or she, wasn't sure, people or Christians don't like to think that Jesus had righteous anger. He had righteous anger. He went to the temple and threw the tables around the place in anger. Righteous anger is okay when it's channeled in the right direction, when it's not coming from this. Yeah.
I love this. Water is a fractal antenna. That's why it's so sensitive, but water memory must be stored in the quantum field. Thank you, Harry. I like that.
And that's why our thoughts are so important. And the things, you said this at the beginning, if you're feeding yourself with negative thoughts and emotions, it might be all sunny on the outside. If that's what's running you, if you think if you're made up of water, you're programming yourself. That's what happening. Yeah.
Oh, that's a lovely message, Michael. Thank you so much. Been following my journey since June. Was that when I was a real lunatic, or had I calmed down by that point? with my bombs on Facebook. Love endures ever. Yep, I love this. Well, look, we're all on a journey, folks. 16 months in. It's gone in so many different directions, twists, turns. The plot thickens. We say this is a movie playing out. This is the great reveal, the great global awakening, to unhook ourselves from the paradigms of the cabal, or this horrible energy that's permeated in humanity, this satanic energy. It's not going to be an overnight fix. I definitely came to that realization this year. We can live in hope. We can ascribe to people. We can put our faith in others, but the main thing I always advocate is have faith in self, and what will be, and everything that is happening for the good. And what we have is now. Without it sounding corny and cheesy, it is now. The present moment it is. We don't need to read loads of textbooks because everything is in the now. Look at what happened to our dear friend Naz and ending the show in his name. You know, what a beautiful beacon of light. What an amazing soul. I'd like to share some of the messages he would send me. He actually found me on one of my first shows with Charlie Ward, my very first one back in June last year, when I started speaking up publicly. I'd been doing their Facebook bashing for some time before. And I remember his first message. I still have it. And, you know, he had such an amazing energy. And this is the beauty about these platforms. You know, we can complain about them, but they've brought us all together. We're speaking like this. So there is a good and a bad side to them both. And we live in that gratitude that we are all collectively coming together in that unity and expressing ourselves. And this gentleman was a beautiful soul, a kindred soul, and always just sharing his light and positivity, not just to me, to so many people. We had many mutual friends in common, and we can just go in a click of a finger like that. So essentially all we have is now. What are we doing now in the present moment? How are we showing up for self first? And then for the greater good for humanity. And like you said, this isn't about a popularity contest, and it certainly isn't for me. That was one of the first posts I put. I'm here because I couldn't bear what was going on. I found it really difficult to speak. My throat would dry up. Many people could see that in the beginning, but we are showing up. We're doing what we can. And that, my brothers and sisters, I applaud each and every single one of you that is doing something in this movement. No one's greater, no one's less. We're all here with the same, you know, with the same purpose. And don't forget that. Don't get swayed by the trivia of he said, she said. That's nonsense. That's trivia, folks. Then how are we different to the cabal's way of being? Come on. Yeah. This person's that and that person's this. Stop that nonsense. Stop it. You know, seriously. It doesn't help us for our frequency and going into the 5D, or we should be in that sort of elevated state. Yes, do what we need to in love, in action, in that righteous action. And don't listen to me if I lower your vibration, if I lower your frequency. I'm telling you, don't. That's not what I want. Yeah. But just stay congruent with the greater good, fighting the real enemy, not what they want us to do, fighting amongst each other. Can you not see what's happening? They want us all divided. They want us fighting. They want us getting she said this, she said that, and all this stupid nonsense that happens on the social media platforms.
Yeah. Sometimes notice how you're feeling. So if you're feeling really flattened and down, just notice that that's where your energy is going. It's going in that kind of, you know, he said, she said, and making wrong. And if you just notice yourself in that, just bring awareness to that, and then kind of pull it back and go, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to just jump up and down and do a jumping jack, or breathe, or run, or skip, or whatever it is you need to do to get yourself.
I recommend doing the Bollywood dance.
There you go.
Oh, folks, guys, we've had a great audience, and thank you everyone. I just really appreciate the reciprocity, the engagement. Adeline, you're an amazing sister, honestly. Just really appreciate you. If you want any more information about it, there's the link below. Any information, Adeline's always there to answer questions. And look, guys, you know, we're just here to add value to people's lives. And if it doesn't resonate with you, it doesn't resonate with you, and that's okay. You know, anything that we've said, not here to demote people or make people feel negative. It's all about helping humanity raise their vibration. So on that note, it's gone over an hour, but you know, people have been engaged, and I really, really appreciate you all. Adeline, on a final note, is there anything that you want to say?
No, just thank you, Alpa. Just thank you for just being on this journey. Thank you for the opportunity to even engage with your audience. I mean, it's a massive privilege from over here in the Midlands in Ireland, and I'm just really, really grateful and delighted to see you doing so well.
Oh, 144. Oh, guys, listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to my Alpa Spiritual Badass channel. It's on one of the shows. There should be a link there. I should have been on this, but I wasn't prepared because it was a spontaneous show. So I didn't have all the links for everything. So if it's on YouTube, you won't see the link, but the Kangen water, I think, is on the Facebook link. But the YouTube, it won't be there. It will be on my previous post. You'll see all my links there and my links for my backup channel. And then I won't have that problem because my own channel will be able to, I'll be able to go live on my own ALPASONI.com, and everything will be integrated there. It's just very technical, and I'm clearly very slow at this. So, but I'm getting there, and I'll get there. And this is now, you know, like I said, I've been doing this for 15 months. I haven't worked for 6 months, just doing mead healing. And, you know, I'm thinking of what I'm doing at the other side of this, and I've got a lot of things that I'm working on. So just very grateful to everybody. So lots of love, people. Thank you, Julian. Yeah, thank you, everyone. And yeah, so much love and to you all.
Bye.